My sister looked at me with a cold smile at her own wedding. Think I'd waste good food on you? That's cute, she sneered. Just leave your gift and go home. I was too shocked to speak at first. I looked at our parents, but they didn't say a word. My dad just mumbled under his breath, well, maybe she should go. I took a deep breath and forced a calm smile. All right, I'll go, I said. But just know this. You will all regret this. My name is Lauren. For as long as I can remember, I've felt things, deep and unsettling things that other people seem completely blind to. It's not just emotions. It's like a wave of something darker lurking underneath, lies, hidden anger, bad intentions. I don't see the future, but I sense the truth people hide behind their smiles. And for that, my family always treated me like I was broken. Growing up in a small coastal town in Florida, I learned that being different made you a problem. My mom, Susan, called it an overactive imagination. My dad, David, usually just pretended I wasn't there. But my younger sister, Jessica, was the real expert at making me feel small. She's 2 years younger, with perfect blonde hair and a smile that could charm anyone. I was just the dark cloud in her sunny life. Don't let her sit with me, she'd whisper to our mom at school events. She makes everything feel weird. So I stopped trying to explain the things I felt. I stopped telling them when something was wrong. I remember being 9 and telling my mom not to trust my dad's new business partner. I just felt something was off. She told me not to be silly. Later, that man disappeared with a large investment that nearly cost us our home. Nobody said sorry. Nobody thanked me. I kept it all inside until high school when I warned a teacher about a new janitor. I couldn't say why, but I knew he was dangerous. That teacher listened and caught the man trying to break into a student's locker. It was the first time an adult had ever believed me. That teacher introduced me to a woman named Clara, a family friend who worked with businesses. Clara was different. She looked at me like she understood. When I finally told her about my feelings, she didn't laugh. I have it too, she said softly. You don't need to be scared of it. You need to learn how to use it. That meeting changed everything. Clara became my guide. She taught me how to focus my intuition, not just on people, but on companies. She worked with big firms and small startups, and she said my gift was real and powerful. With her help, I started my own small consulting business, quietly and online. While my friends were sharing photos and looking for jobs, I was helping companies avoid disaster. But my family didn't care. When I told them I wouldn't be getting a normal job after college, my dad was furious. What kind of made-up job is that? He yelled. If you're not earning real money, you can at least clean the house, my mom added. Jessica just laughed. Working from home? Sounds like you're just unemployed in comfy clothes. They had no idea I'd already helped save a multi-million-dollar shipping company. I didn't bother telling them. For a year, I paid rent, did most of the chores, and took client calls late at night. I was building a name for myself. Then one evening, Jessica came home, her high heels clicking on the floor. I'm getting married, she announced. His name is Brandon. He's going to be the CEO of his family's property development company. She looked right at me. And no, Lauren, he's not hiring. She actually thought I was still beneath her. My parents were over the moon. Our Jessica has landed a real winner, my dad said. I tried to be happy for her, but a cold feeling settled in my stomach. I'd never even met Brandon, but just hearing his name felt like a warning. A few weeks later, they had an engagement party. Brandon arrived in an expensive suit, his hair perfectly styled. He was all charm and smooth talk. When I shook his hand, the feeling hit me hard. Something was very wrong. A thick, deceptive fog seemed to cling to him. You've only been dating for 4 months? I asked carefully. Jessica rolled her eyes. Oh, Lauren, why do you have to be so weird? Can't you just be normal for once? I just mean, maybe don't rush into any big financial decisions, I said. Brandon cut in with a slick smile. Don't worry, we're not asking you for money. I let it go for the moment. The wedding was planned for a fancy hotel by the ocean. Jessica loved talking about the expensive menu, the flowers, and all the important guests. One day, she sent a group text. A quick reminder, +1s are for family only. And please remember a wedding gift is expected. It was obvious who that was for. I was her only sister and I wasn't bringing anyone. Clara noticed I was stressed. Are you sure you want to go? She asked. I think I need to, I replied. For my own peace of mind. She patted my hand. If things fall apart, let them. The truth always comes out when everyone is watching. The wedding day was bright and sunny. The venue was stunning, with white marble and huge flower arrangements. I wore a simple green dress. I wasn't there to be noticed. I was there to watch. The ceremony was like a fairy tale, just like Jessica wanted. But I wasn't watching her. I was watching Brandon. The way he held her hand felt possessive. The way he worked the crowd felt fake. He never once looked at his own parents. There was something cold in his eyes. After they were married, we moved to the reception. My table was the worst one, right next to the kitchen. I didn't mind. I talked to the other people at the table, distant relatives and old friends of Jessica's. Then I noticed something odd. Everyone else had drinks and food. Our table had nothing. I stopped a server. Excuse me, is there a problem with our meals? She checked a list and gave me a polite smile. I'm sorry. This table is self-catered. Before I could ask what that meant, Jessica was suddenly beside me, her white dress glowing. She leaned in, her voice sweet but vicious. You didn't honestly think we'd waste expensive food on you, did you? You can just leave your cheap gift and go. Maybe pick up some fast food on the way. That's more your style. I was speechless. Then Brandon walked over, putting his arm around her. Everything okay? He asked, as if I were a stranger causing trouble. She was just leaving, Jessica said brightly. I looked at my parents. My mom looked uncomfortable but stayed quiet. My dad took a drink and muttered, yeah, maybe it's best if she goes. That was the moment something inside me went quiet and clear. I stood up, my voice steady. All right, I'll go. But just know you will regret this. Every one of you. People nearby started to laugh and whisper. What does that even mean? Jessica scoffed. Do you think anyone cares about your creepy feelings and bad moods? Then a man stood up from the main table. He was tall, wearing a dark gray suit. I care, he said. The room went quiet. Jessica was confused. I'm sorry, who are you? I'm Liam, he said. Brandon's older brother. Brandon went stiff. Jessica's smile vanished. I've been quiet because I didn't want to cause a scene, Liam continued. But Lauren is right. You will regret this. All of it. He turned to face the entire room. Brandon is not a company heir. Our father's business went bankrupt 8 months ago. Brandon hasn't had a job since. He rushed this wedding to get his hands on your family's money, not to share his. The crowd erupted in gasps. What are you doing? Brandon snarled. Telling the truth for once, Liam replied calmly. Jessica turned to Brandon, her voice shaking. Is this true? Is any of it real? Brandon didn't answer. And the apartment lease I signed last week? She pressed. You said we'd pay for it together. I never told you to sign anything, he mumbled. Her face went white. You let me put it only in my name? My parents looked horrified. Then another man stood up. He was in his 60s with silver hair. This has gone far enough, he said. Jessica stared. Mr. Evans? He was the head of the company where she worked. I'm not here for you, Jessica, he said. I'm here for her. He pointed right at me. Lauren? Jessica whispered, completely lost. She saved my company 6 months ago, Mr. Evans announced to everyone. We were about to go under. Lauren stepped in and gave us the plan that turned everything around. She is the reason we are still in business today. He looked at Jessica. She works from home because she is brilliant, not because she is lazy. The room was buzzing now. I finally spoke. Your company was my client, Mr. Evans. The strategy you used was mine. He nodded. And I am forever grateful. Jessica tried to laugh, but it came out as a strangled sound. No, this can't be right. But it was too late. The wedding was falling apart. Guests were getting up to leave. Someone at the gift table asked loudly if they could get their money back. I stood perfectly still, feeling a strange peace. You spent years humiliating me, I said to Jessica. Today, it's over. She had no words. Liam walked over and touched my shoulder gently. Let's go. There's nothing left here for you. As we turned to leave, Mr. Evans added, Jessica, expect a call from HR first thing Monday. The wedding music started to play, but it was too late. The party was already ruined. I walked out with Liam, the fresh air feeling like a new beginning. For the first time in so long, I felt free. The fallout was swift. By Monday, the story was all over social media. A former co-worker of Jessica's had posted about the wedding of the year that exploded. Pictures and stories spread fast. The business world took notice. Mr. Evans called Clara, asking if I would consider a long-term partnership. After that display, he said, everyone wants to work with her. I took my time deciding. I finally had choices. Jessica's life, however, fell apart. The expensive apartment lease was in her name alone, and she couldn't break it without a huge penalty. She begged Brandon for help, but he disappeared. She went to our parents for money. I heard about it when my mom called me a few days later. Lauren, it's been a difficult time, she began. I'm sure it has, I replied. Your sister is in a real bind, she said. Maybe if we could all talk. You mean you want me to help pay for her apartment? I asked. There was silence on the other end. I've already done more for this family than anyone ever did for me, I said. And I'm done. I hung up. By the end of the month, I moved into my own apartment. It was small, but it was mine. My business grew quickly. Soon I had a waiting list of clients. Clara and I were invited to speak at a big conference. I wore a simple green suit and people stood and clapped for me. Liam and I kept talking. We went for coffee, then for dinner. One night he said, I don't know where this is going, but I'd like to find out with you. I smiled. Me too. Because I finally understood. I wasn't strange or broken. I was gifted. And I was finally in charge of my own life. Jessica eventually called me. I didn't answer. She texted, I'm sorry. I need help. I thought about it for a long time. Then I replied, come by on Friday. 1 hour. When she arrived, she looked tired and plain. No fancy clothes or makeup. You look well, she said awkwardly. You look like you've had a hard time, I answered honestly. She sighed. I have. I lost everything. And I know I deserved it. But I don't know what to do now. I looked at her, remembering all the years of cruelty, the wedding, the sneers. But I also saw a crack in her proud shell. I have rules, I told her. You don't insult me. You don't lie. You clean up after yourself. You don't ask for money. You can sleep on the sofa. And you help buy groceries. She nodded, tears in her eyes. Thank you. This isn't a gift, I said. It's a choice. For both of us. It wasn't a perfect happy ending. But she stayed. She was quiet and she worked hard. We weren't close sisters, but we learned to live beside each other, which was more than I ever thought possible. I stopped sending money to our parents. Without the extra cash, they had to rent out a room and find extra work. It's funny how fast things change when the money stops. As for me, my life kept getting better. I had more clients than I could handle. I was happy. And I finally knew that I was exactly who I was meant to be. Thank you for watching. Your support helps bring more powerful stories like this one to light. Stay strong, and I'll see you in the next story of betrayal and redemption.